Welcome to the Metaphysics Fall 2020 Canvas Tour. Your canvas will look somewhat differently. Also, you won't have this purple bar down at the bottom, which occurs when faculty puts it into student view. So when you first arrive in the course on Canvas, you'll see this. It'll be on the home page, and here's what you'll find here. Under the Canvas Guides, this is a link to official Canvas guides to help you, basically everything you'd want to know about Canvas is there from the official Canvas guides. Also, this is a quick guide to getting started with Canvas. If you're not familiar with the learning management system, this will also quickly familiarize you with the basics and mechanics of it. Down here is the syllabus. Here is the PDF version of the syllabus. And here is the syllabus video, which goes through kind of the generic metaphysics syllabus, and this provides all the details in PDF format. Here's the assessment stuff. There's a pre-test, a post-test. I'll talk more about that in terms of the content in another video. For the course documents, here are the readings, the notes, the grade estimators, which you can use to determine if you need the final or not. Here are the PowerPoints. I'm currently updating them to make them, more online friendly. These were designed for teaching the course in person. So these are the basic PowerPoints, but they'll be improved and enhanced versions. Also, if you wanted a letter of recommendation, here's a guide to that. I'll be presenting the content of the class by class. Out here is the first class, at least partially completed. And what you'll be able to do for each class is to go here, click on the course, and then wait a little bit for it to do its thing, and you'll see some content here. And I'll say more about that when I start putting in more of the content. And then, of course, you can go back to home. Scrolling down a bit more, I've recorded the course as I've been teaching it. I'll be doing updated videos for the online version of the course, but I included, since I recorded the entire course from 2017, 2018, and some videos from 2019. These are playlists on YouTube, it's not the tubes. So you'll be able to see the videos. And again, I'll be doing updated versions. These are just recordings of the actual classes from these years. It's the entire course, but they're classroom videos. And so just recordings of me talking and other people talking as well. The quizzes for part 1 are here. Each of the quizzes for part 1 is here. You can click on a quiz and it will have the information about it, the instructions, the due date, the point value, number of questions, how long it's available, the time limit, and then just click here to take it. And once you start it up, as I mentioned on the syllabus video, you'll have 5 minutes to complete it, and it keeps on rolling, the timer does, even if you leave the quiz. And then going back to home, then there are quizzes for part 2, and then part 3, part 4. Then there are also 2 assessment quizzes, and they're not really quizzes, they're surveys, and I'll put up a video particularly about these, explaining what these are and how these work. You don't have to worry about these until the end of the semester. There's also the exams. There are 5 exams in total, best 4 count, the syllabus and syllabus video says, and just like with the quizzes, you can click on them. It will say when they're due, when they're available to, and the due date is when you should do it, and the available to is how long it'll be available. You can do it until then with no penalty. The points that it's worth, the questions, and the description. Then down here is the paper. There's the paper guide, the sample cases, the paper PowerPoint, and then some videos of the paper. I'll be updating some of the videos as well as we transition to the fully online class. Here is the draft and plagiarism check, where if you want to, you can upload a paper to the plagiarism check, and what you do is click submit assignment, select a file, upload it, and what it'll do is it will check the paper and give you a plagiarism report. It won't put the paper into the the file that's kept by the Turnitin, so that way you won't end up plagiarizing yourself. And if you're not sure if your paper is okay plagiarism wise, this is a way to check it. I don't grade this or even look at it. It's just so you can check it to see before turning your final version whether the paper would be okay or not. And Turnitin is pretty aggressive about checking stuff. So one thing you'll notice is that even if you've done everything correctly, you put all the quotations and citations in there, it will still flag stuff. And I do go in and look at the actual paper itself. I don't just look at it and say, aha, it's got a, got a big Turnitin, plagiarism score, so auto 0. I actually go in and look. You can have a paper that, has a lot of stuff flagged in it that's all perfectly fine, because Turnitin doesn't, really know whether you're using it correctly or not. That's why I actually look at them. But this will give you a chance to check it just to be sure that things are, are okay. And so it flags a lot of stuff, then you give you a kind of a warning to go back and, put some quote marks around it, cite some sources. There's also, since the class is online, and meeting people in person is generally a bad idea during a pandemic, you can also turn in the draft online as well. You can do as many drafts as you want until you get sick of it. You get the result you want, or time runs out. And similar thing, you just go to click assignment, pick it, turn it in. I'll go and put some comments on it using Canvas, and then you'll be able to see what you got. Now the grade on the draft is not an actual grade for the course. It is ungraded in the sense that it doesn't get loaded into the grade book. So drafts do not hurt your grade. That's why I don't actually, put a grade on it. You just get a, I guess, hypothetical grade. The grade you'd get if you turned in that final version. So the grade doesn't count, against you. Now, what about doing the final version of the paper? Well, there are 3 different dates you can turn in the final version. The +5 bonus deadline, get your base score +5, the emergency deadline, your base score, and the 50% credit. And so if the paper is in by November 12th, end of day, you get your base score +5. If it's not turned in to November 18th, end of day, you get your base score. And if it's not in until December 4th, end of day, it'd be half credit. And when doing the papers, it'll tell you when it's due, when the deadline is, and in this case they're both the same. That's when it deadlines. So it has the guidelines here. Be sure that you've got the right file. Be sure it's MS Word or PDF so I can actually look at it. If it's unreadable, I can't read it, so it'd be a 0. If you miss the deadline, just go to the next deadline. Don't email me the paper. If you upload the wrong paper, weirdly, Canvas does not allow me to clear submitted papers, at least in this current version. If you're familiar with Blackboard, that did allow me to go in. If someone says, oh, crap, I uploaded my biology paper instead of my philosophy paper, I can go in and clear it. Canvas, though, doesn't let me do that. So check to make sure you're uploading the right paper. But suppose things go wrong. Well, my kind of annoyingly bad workaround is this. You get 3 opportunities to upload the right copy of the paper. There's not 3 grade attempts. I don't grade, it 3 times and then you get the best out of that. Whatever your last paper is in there, I grade that one. So if you go and upload a paper and you're like, oh crap, I uploaded my psychology paper instead of philosophy, then just go and upload your philosophy paper with your next submission. If you have more than 3 mistakes, then at that point, email me and we'll work something out. But you get 3 attempts to upload the correct paper. And again, I just grade the last one. If somehow there's like a weird mistake, like you upload the right one first and the wrong one second, and then the wrong one third, then email me right away saying, I uploaded 2 wrong files, but the first one is right. Otherwise, again, I default to the last paper. So with the deadlines for the paper, you only have to turn it in once. So if you turn it in for the +5 bonus deadline, which is the best one, you wouldn't turn it in for the emergency deadline, and definitely not for the 50% deadline, because the 50% deadline is half credit. So that is the Canvas navigation for the course. So what I'll also be doing, as I mentioned, is that for each class, once I get these set up, I'll do another video on how the class by class works once I get that done. So you'll be able to click into a class and you'll see all the stuff that, should be done that day. But that's the basic navigation of Canvas, at least this particular course. And as always, if you have questions about stuff, this is a weird and unusual, crazy time. And so if something is, not clear, if you have questions or anything about how this is all being done, don't hesitate to email me, or once I get the Zoom stuff, office hours set up, to Zoom me, and I'll be presenting more videos, setting up like how things work, and that way, and I'll put them into like a guide section. That way, you'll be able to see answers to your questions about how this stuff works. Because again, due to the pandemic, stopping by office hours, in person, not a thing anymore. So that's the tour. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the future.